Hi guys, this is me, your justice analyst Kirill from Belarus living in Germany, and today it's time to continue with the Eurovision 2025 reactions. Today it's time to talk about Denmark. Denmark is definitely one of my personal favorite countries in Eurovision Song Contest. It was my dream since so many years to go one day to the Dansk MGP, Prix, so the national selection of Denmark. Last year, my dream came true. I was there live in the studio where the selection was happening.
Linnea on the ball. Tell me there's hope for all.
Basically, most of the Danish sections I remember were always in a very big arena with huge crowds, such a great mood there. And the selection where I was unfortunately in a very small music hall. In any case, I was very happy to be there. And this year I have kind of overcame myself, didn't watch the Danish selection live because I have heard that the songs this year are maybe not so wow. But now I have kind of checked the live performances of those who were in the final, apart from the winning entry. And I have to say, this year it looked really cool. Again, huge arena. I was really impressed by the performance of Team Show, whom you maybe remember from the band A Friend in London.
A new tomorrow. Come on, girls, come on, boys. I'm proud of who you are. It's fine if you feel broken and stumble out of bars.
Such a nice song, actually co-written by Ben from Ben and Ten duo, who was set to represent Denmark in the Eurovision 2020, which unfortunately was cancelled. In any case, the winner this year is a 30-year-old Sissal, who comes from Faroe Islands, from the capital, from the city of Tórshavn, the same as our singer who represented Denmark a couple of years ago with the song Breaking My Heart.
But I'm scared of breaking my heart, still breaking my heart. If you go back to the start, you still be breaking my heart.
I think back then Lee was actually the first Faroese artist to represent Denmark in the Eurovision Song Contest this year again, and actually even last year I think the third place in the selection was also a singer who comes from the Faroe Islands. So I'm not really sure where this love towards the singer is born on the Faroe Islands is coming from, but in any case, talking about the entry for this year called Hallucination, it has been written by some composers who are very well seasoned in the Eurovision world and also in Melodi Festivalen and in Danish Melodi Grand Prix. For example, Melanie Wehbe was also one of the composers of the entry Sand by Saba last year, and also Love Is Forever for Leonora, and even The Mamas with Move.
Come over, my long lost friend, and work on a happy end. Tonight I wouldn't do for you, 'cause you do it for me too.
Another big Swedish name behind this entry is Linnea, who was one of the composers of Hero for Måns Zelmerlöw, and she was also one of the composers of Yes by Ben and Ten. But now let's just take a look at the lyrics of Hallucination. So as you can see on your screen, the artist Sissal is singing, "You show me more than meets the eye. With you, I see colors I never saw before. 1,000 shades of light come to life. You're making me question all that I thought is true. Maybe I'm losing control. You're my hallucination. You're leading me into another fantasy." So it's quite obvious that Sissal is definitely singing about some very passionate feeling towards another person. So probably this kind of early love where you're extremely obsessed by that person. And she's even comparing it, I think, with like hallucination, because she can't believe it's all real, that she's really so blown away by this feeling and losing her mind. So yeah, the lyrics are kind of generic. This metaphor with hallucination is definitely new. I haven't seen it anywhere before. Is it a very strong metaphor, which we will all remember and will love? Maybe not. Based on these lyrics, I can assume that it's probably not a ballad. It sounds to me like some kind of a good text for just a generic pop song, maybe kind of a feeling like Saba Sent last year, or maybe even in a bit more dancing direction. So without further guessing, let's just go for the first listen, where I will take a look at the MP3 track or the lyric video or the official music video if it's available. And then for the second listen, I will definitely take a look at her live performance from the Dansk Melodi Grand Prix. So for the first listen this time, I'm blessed with the lyric video, so let's just take a look at the Hallucination. It's definitely starting like a nice banger.
I see colors.
Nice build up, so you can kind of feel some big explosion will come.
Making me question
Ooh, very nice electronic beat in the background.
through you. My vision's blurry. Hallucination.
It's kind of building up a little bit like Sand last year.
Slipping from reality.
It's just building up really nicely. It's just very well produced song, I can already say that.
Making me question all that I thought true. All that I'm seeing.
It's definitely my cup of tea.
Maybe I'm losing control. You're my
Ooh, yay! It definitely has this euphoria beat in the background, or I can already sing along, the lyrics are so easy. Yeah, show us vocals, really nice bridge. This part is a little bit, yeah, lacking something, I have to say. Really beautiful head voice. I hope it sounds exactly the same in the live performance. Ooh, yay! Yeah, that's exactly what we were missing, I think, at this point of time. This nice explosion, really cool. Oh, I love the song. Really, really good one from Denmark this year. Wow! Well, what can I say about this song? Obviously, it's generic. Obviously, it's something we have heard thousands of times, but that's exactly what I'm watching Eurovision for. I really love this kind of nice electronic, a bit Schlager-inspired songs. It's going directly right into my playlist. I can already say this will be one of my main favorites of this year. I really love it. It really reminds me Euphoria of Loreen. But because Euphoria is already kind of 13 years old, it's really nice and refreshing to again hear this kind of familiar sound, and I hope a lot of people will resonate with this. I'm just really curious now to see what kind of performance will it be. Will it be also similar to Euphoria live, or will it be some completely different visual? So now let's take a look at the live performance from the Dansk Melodi Grand Prix 2025.
More than meets the eye.
Wow, her vocals are already flawless from the very first second. I was so afraid it will not sound as impactful and as cool as in that MP3 track, but it sounds already great.
I see colors I never saw before.
She has so much power, she has so great support, so really impressive vocalist here.
Making me question.
This kind of wind from the back was very cool, which pulled her hair up. It came kind of out of nowhere. I have really liked this visual. Seems based on what they're wearing, it can be really some kind of Euphoria-like performance. So let's see how much movement she will bring.
You're leading me into another fantasy.
Well, obviously the play of light is very good. This they also executed perfectly with Saba last year, but the performance itself so far doesn't seem so interesting or so impactful. Maybe they didn't have so much time to prepare. I just really hope at Eurovision it will be completely different level.
Oh, making me question all that I thought you.
By the way, this stage, I think they kept the same shape as last year. So now you can see on this picture how the stage looked like last year. So I think they just prepared kind of very same stage concept, just made it much bigger and grander for this bigger arena. She is good and the song is really such a banger. Love it. Yeah, the dancing is, yeah, absolutely silly, really unnecessary even. I mean, if you are adding the dancers, just make it much more impactful. We all remember this kind of dancing which Loreen had with her dancer. This was impactful, this was something memorable. And here, yeah, the costumes are very weak, the dancing is very weak, so they have a lot to work on for Eurovision stage. Wow, how she's playing with her head voice is absolutely stunning. They have so much potential with this entry. They have amazing song, they have amazing singer, very stable live vocals. Now they just need to work on a very impressive live performance. Wow, she did it absolutely flawlessly, absolutely effortless. Have you seen any sort of sign that she's struggling on her face? Absolutely not. She's such a powerhouse. Definitely my kind of vibe. Did it get really hot in this room, or is it just Denmark smashing everything with her energy and her stunning vocals and this very catchy melody? I have absolutely loved this entry. If I'm trying to think objectively how good it can do in the Eurovision, I think in general this is something purely for the Eurovision fans. It's something what the general public unfortunately will find rather boring and repetitive. I think they're not really waiting for this kind of electronic-inspired bangers. In any case, I'm very happy with that. I'm wishing all the best to Sissal. But now let's first of all take a look at how Denmark did in the Eurovision Song Contest semifinals in accordance with the televoting in the previous years. As you can see on your screen, if we talk about the last 5 years for Denmark, it was a very dreadful time. Basically only once in 2021 they were qualifying to the final in accordance with the televote, even though they actually missed qualifying because of the juries. In 2019, on the other hand, they have actually qualified, but with the help of the juries. Nowadays there are no juries and there is every year no Denmark in the Eurovision final. This year I think the song is very powerful. It's definitely targeting the televoters. I don't think that this kind of song will get a lot of support from the juries. Definitely it will not come even close to those results Denmark had back then in 2013, 12, 11 and so on. But I think that this song definitely can get Denmark into the final if they will bring the right stage to Basel. Now it's time to take a look where Denmark will perform in Basel, in which semifinal and in which half. So as you can see on your screen, it will be the second semifinal, and luckily for Denmark, it's second half. So last year Denmark was already in the second semifinal, but in its first half, so I think this year they're definitely profiting from this running order. Unfortunately, we already know that Malta, Finland, Luxembourg, all these countries, they also bring female artists with up-tempo songs, and if we take a look at the first half, there is also additionally Ireland. So in general, I personally prefer this bob over those other bobs which I have just mentioned, but I don't think that the general public will really prefer it. I just really hope that the producers will help Denmark this year, just putting them towards the end of the show. I think this song would be actually a very nice closing entry for the semi-final because it's so energetic. People will again wake up in case they were falling asleep on some entries before that. So yeah, who knows, maybe Denmark will be the finisher of the second semi-final. And now let's take a look at the Eurovision scoreboard to see how the Eurovision fans are ranking this entry. So as you can see on your screen, Denmark is currently ranked 16th out of 26 selected entries, so kind of in the middle of the table, below Spain, Luxembourg, Estonia and Latvia, but above Ukraine, Italy, Armenia and Ireland. I think it's very interesting that Denmark is located right next to Spain in this rating, because I think the songs are very much playing on the same field. It's the same kind of modern Schlager dancey vibe. I really love both of these entries, but I really think that this is not the best choice if you want to get the televoting attention. But in any case, I will root for Denmark this year. This will be definitely one of my biggest favorites. But what matters more and what kind of shows us a more realistic picture is definitely the betting odds overview. So as you can see on your screen, Denmark at the point of filming of this video is located on place 26, below Poland, Switzerland, Germany and Georgia, but above Norway, Azerbaijan, Armenia and Slovenia. So generally place 26 kind of says Denmark should be in the final, but like really jumping into the last wagon of this train which is departing. But I have to say, if I see which countries are currently below Denmark, like Norway and Armenia, I think these songs will definitely score so much better than Hallucination, even though for me Hallucination hands down maybe even the best song of this year, but I don't think this is something what will stick in the mind of the televoters, also not really something what the juries will rank so high, because it's not really something original or something radio friendly for 2025. And now let's talk about staging, because I think there Denmark has definitely a lot of potential. I don't think that they should go for this Loreen-like staging. I think Sissal is maybe not as comfortable moving so actively on stage, so they should just compensate with some kind of screens which will maybe move around her, rotate around her, just make this kind of hurricane of the screens so that we all will be just absolutely mesmerized by this picture and will kinda also lose the track of what is real and what is a hallucination. So that's what I have thought about Denmark and its entry Hallucination for this year. Definitely one of my personal favorites, but definitely not an entry which will score top 10 for Denmark. Please let me know, what have you thought about this entry? Have you liked it? Are you with me in one club of the people who would go to the dance floor to dance to this track? Or are you one of those who think that it's too repetitive, too generic, and this kind of song should have stayed in 2012? Please let me know down below in the comments. Please subscribe to my channel if you still haven't. Like this video, it will definitely help my channel, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.